Greetings, listeners. I would like to welcome you to the Afro-anime audio series, Ziggy Doesn't Wanna Be a Vampire. It brings me great joy to share this story with all of you. Please sit back and enjoy, and be sure to like and leave a comment discussing the chapter and let me know if you want to hear the next chapter, for this allows me to keep making new chapters and sharing them with all of you. Ziggy Doesn't Wanna Be a Vampire, written by Latasha Morris. Chapter 1. Ziggy Doesn't Like Blood. Ziggy darted viciously through the dense forest, weaving between towering trees and leaping over tangled bushes, tracking down his prey. A creature known for their lemur-like appearance and incredible speed sprints for its life through the nocturnal forest. Finally, with a burst of his vampire speed and agility, Ziggy closed the distance. But suddenly, just when Ziggy was about to sink his teeth into the creature, an unpleasant scent instantly came off the creature, penetrating his nose. The aroma was overwhelming and instantly sapped his appetite. Ziggy's face contorted into a silly, exaggerated grimace, making the creature jump back in surprise. With a sheepish grin, Ziggy released it, and it scampered away into the shadows. Another failed hunt for Ziggy de Gefa. He sighed, frustrated. Catching his own prey was always a struggle. The vampire realm teemed with strange beasts and mythical creatures that could satisfy most vampires' thirst for blood. But not Ziggy's. The smell, let alone the taste, turned his stomach. His mentor, Badru, looked on with disappointment. "That's the third time you let your meal slip away," Badru scolded, frustration evident in his voice as he watched Ziggy from behind. "Sorry, Badru," Ziggy mumbled, glancing back at his mentor, who shook his head in exasperation. Ziggy exhaled heavily, feeling the weight of yet another failure. Badru stepped closer, his tone firm. "If you don't start drinking blood soon, we'll have to switch to supplements again." Ziggy frowned at the ground, sinking into thought. "Is it your lack of urges?" Badru asked, scrutinizing him. No," Ziggy replied quietly. "The taste, then?" Badru pressed. Ziggy sighed and averted his gaze. Yeah, it's disgusting." Badru paused, bewildered. "Ziggy, blood can't be disgusting. You're a vampire." The young vampire looked away, unsure how to respond. "Let's call it a night," Badru said, scratching his head. "You need rest." Unbeknownst to Ziggy and Badru, a strange creature lurking in the shadows had been silently observing their exchange, watching every move with keen interest. Through the creature's eyes, Count Bokamoso, Ziggy's grandfather, monitored his grandson's progress from his secret headquarters back at the family mansion. His expression was stern, displeased. "Ziggy!" A piercing scream shattered the forest's quiet. "Ziggy!" The cry echoed again, more frantic this time. Ziggy and Badru instinctively covered their ears. "Here she comes," Badru warned, stepping aside swiftly. Ziggy braced himself, expecting the warm embrace of his mother. But instead, a frantic figure burst through the trees. Zuri, Ziggy's mother, sobbing and wailing. "Please, tell me you did well this time," Zuri begged, her voice trembling. Ziggy lowered his head, feeling the weight of her desperation. "Please, Ziggy, tell me you ate like a real vampire," she cried. He froze, unable to admit his failure. Guilt gnawed at him. "Well, you see," Ziggy began softly. "Of course he did," Badru interrupted quickly, cutting him off with a forced smile. "Ziggy was excellent today, as expected from our realm's future heir." Zuri's face lit up with hope and relief. "Oh, Ziggy, thank goodness." Ziggy looked down at her overwhelmed expression, silently thinking, what a terrible lie. Despite his own doubts, he offered her a small, comforting smile and gently stroked her hair. He couldn't blame her for feeling relieved. Whenever he failed to perform his duties, she paid the price with scolding and tears. The fear of Count Bokamoso, the oldest and most powerful vampire, haunted them all. His bloodline ran through Ziggy's veins, making him the prince of this dark realm. "Shall we head back?" Badru suggested, helping Zuri to her feet. Ziggy nodded, his gaze fixed on the towering mansion in the distance. As they approached the gates of the Dagefa mansion, a shadowy figure emerged. One of Count Bokamoso's informers. Badru immediately recognized it as a summons. "Ziggy, take Zuri and go on ahead," Badru ordered quietly. "Don't worry, I just need to give my report," Badru added with a reassuring smile before stepping aside. The informer's voice rang out sharply. "You both must come." Badru stared, stunned. Ziggy's has never accompanied him on a meeting regarding his progress. Zuri's face grew anxious. What could he want with Ziggy now? "Don't worry," Ziggy said softly, trying to comfort her. "We did well tonight." He whistled for Phantom, his ghostly pet and loyal friend, who materialized instantly at his side. "Please walk Mother back to the mansion." "Okay?" Ziggy said playfully, guiding Phantom with a grin. Then he turned to follow Badru. They headed toward the west side of the mansion, where Count Bokamoso awaited. Ziggy knew that nothing escaped his grandfather's clairvoyance. He was always aware of his failures. His heart hardened as they walked through the dark corridors. "We have arrived," hollered the informer. Finally, they reached the Count's domain. The doors swung open with a loud creak. "Scram, you vermin," Bokamoso growled, hissing at his informer to leave at once. Ziggy and Badru froze, feeling the oppressive aura emanating from the Vampire King. It was suffocating, yet they knew better than to show fear. Badru suddenly stepped forward, unafraid. He stepped forward boldly. "Sir, couldn't this have waited until after my report?" Unlike most vampires outside the royal family, Badru was fearless, often speaking out of turn, challenging authority. Ziggy admired his courage, though it often earned him a dangerous glare. Yet, he has never been harshly punished. Count Bokamoso chuckled darkly, finding Badru's defiance amusing. Then his expression hardened. "Looks like you've failed another hunt, Ziggy," he said mockingly, ignoring Badru entirely. Ziggy clenched his jaw. "He knows," he thought. "I see Badru couldn't get you to succumb to your urges," Bokamoso continued, a cruel smile curling his lips. "Tell me, Ziggy, do you want to be a vampire?" The room fell silent. Ziggy stood frozen, puzzled by the question. What kind of question is that, he wondered. "Sir, please, I'd rather us not discuss that," Badru interjected, tense. Bokamoso's gaze turned sinister. "It's a simple question that any vampire should be able to answer. But I'll ask again. Do you want to be a vampire?" Ziggy hesitated. The room felt heavy. He couldn't tell if Bokamoso was joking or being serious. Then, unexpectedly, Bokamoso leaned in, a wicked grin on his face. "What if I told you you could be human instead?" Ziggy's eyes widened. "You're not serious," he said, voice trembling. "Oh, I am," Bokamoso replied softly. "I could turn you human, free of the bloodlust, free of these cursed urges." Ziggy's heart pounded. Could it be true? Could he really leave behind the darkness? He hesitated, then managed to ask, "Does that mean I could go to the human realm?" "Absolutely," Bokamoso teased, a mischievous glint in his eye. "I just know you're up to something," Badru thought silently. A strange warmth surged inside Ziggy, a feeling he'd never experienced before. The idea of freedom from blood, from the hunger that haunted him. It was intoxicating. But Bokamoso's grin widened. "There's just one condition first." Ziggy's stomach clenched. "A condition?" Bokamoso's voice grew serious. "You must protect someone." "Protect someone," Ziggy echoed, confusion clouding his mind. "Yes, a young girl from the human realm," Bokamoso explained. "She'll be your companion at school. You'll have until the end of spring to keep her alive." Ziggy stared in disbelief. Keep her safe? In our realm, full of vampires? Bokamoso nodded. If you succeed in protecting her while she's here in our realm, I will grant you your humanity, he continued. Ziggy looked down, pondering the impossible task ahead. Could he really protect a human in a world full of monsters? So, what will it be? He said tauntingly. Ziggy slowly raised his head, determination flickering in his eyes. I'll do it, Ziggy uttered, sealing his fate. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and leave a comment. Let's create an exciting book community together. Here are some book club questions to think about. What character stood out the most to you? What do you think about Ziggy's character? What do you think of the title as it relates to the story? What made you want to listen to this story? Thank you, and God bless the rest of your week with favor and good fortune.